Hi everybody, welcome to the Black Dragon Tavern. I'm your host Dante.
And I'm your host Deacon.
And here we are on episode 22. I hope I got that right in the
Nope.
promo for this.
Yes, but you did not.
I didn't change the stream title.
No, you didn't. Do you want to go do that?
No, you can do it from the deck if you want over there.
No, go ahead. Go
okay,
ahead.
I'll go do it. In the meantime, just chat everybody up.
Yeah. So we are here streaming from the Workbench tonight. We got a couple things going on. I think Dante is over there working on his cathedral still, and I am working on some 40k models. Ooh, gotta get the hiccups. I just broke out my airbrush for the first time in a while. Haven't really had the time, the patience to do anything with it. But hey, Darix Ruby. Hello, welcome. Just broke this out and I airbrushed this Valkyrie. Got the base layers on there. So I am looking forward to doing some of the panel lining and washing of that tonight. And then after that, I'm going to try and get it in frame here. I've got some orcs that I'm going to work on, some war bikers. So that's what's going on my end. I'm just gonna jump right in here.
Hey Ruby, welcome. Sorry about that. I was just changing the stream title. Forgot to change that and the topic that we're in. I wish they had like a miniature painting topic in and of itself or something like that. Because as it is, most people that do this stuff,
Do it under
they
Warhammer.
jump under Warhammer. Yeah, and I see all kinds of stuff going on there.
So I'm doing something here that I rarely.
Feels like we haven't done this in ages, but I know
we didn't stream last weekend.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't.
I'm just gonna jump right in and start working on this stuff.
I was just saying, I'm doing something I rarely do, and I'm actually thinning down a wash.
What did I do with my wash? That's what I'm looking for all my washes.
They're all back there.
Yeah. Problem is now, what the hell was I doing before? Was I doing dark tone? That's the problem when I don't take notes on this stuff. Dark tone I think is too dark. I want the strong. There we go.
Alright, let's see.
Here's the other one I was using. It's already open.
This is
And
a recipe for disaster. I'm not doing it that way.
it feels
Drink.
like
Hydrate.
Oh, somebody cashed in a hydrate?
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Should have brought a case of that stuff down. You just go through it all the time.
Probably.
Turn the volume.
Where are the needles?
The needles are in that jar, that little jalapeno jar or whatever that is.
Can you repeat your names, please? Yeah, I'm Deacon, and over there he's Dante.
Yep, I'm Dante. Nice to meet you. Thanks for tuning in. We do this every Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central. I'm going to drop some stream times in here. Every other Friday we go from 8 p.m. to midnight, where we run a fantasy RPG called Dante's Game. It's a homebrew fantasy RPG. It's 42 years in the making. It's pretty cool. And Deacon plays in the game, I DM, and then Deacon's boyfriend Griffin plays along, and another friend of ours, Sarah. So that's kind of cool. You can check out the VODs on our About page. Drop a couple more things in the stream here, just for some information. I feel like I had another cup I was using. Did I leave that out in the...
Possibly.
Because I was using all washes, and I don't think I used this brown palette for the washes. But I know I was dipping it in something. Anyway, I'll go with that.
Not too much.
And then this is gonna...
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's one of the most awesome techniques I think we've ever discovered. It's just filling the lines in perfectly, isn't it?
It is.
Nice. Do you have to thin that down at all?
The wash?
Yeah.
No, but I didn't have to thin it down, but I thinned it down anyways because I did not want it to be... Oh god, it's pooling up there. I didn't want it to be super transparent. I think you've seen me somewhere before, huh? Where's that?
Hanging out at the mall like a mall rat. Like Jay without Silent Bob.
Nope. Don't use TikTok.
We don't really have much of a need to use TikTok, too. We don't really do a whole lot of stuff. Unless we do some stuff this summer, like some of the events we were talking about doing, like the medieval weapons testing.
Yeah, and I just don't use it anyways.
Yeah, I got nothing against it. I just don't. I get going like we have so many other so many other channels that we don't even keep up with. Like we got to update our IG account for sure, but we're both kind of the same way. We don't like to put anything up there unless we're done working on it.
Yep.
Get a backsplash on this wash. This is cool. This is going to turn out cool. Super happy with this. What are you working on this week? You're working on that
Valkyrie, yeah.
Valkyrie. Yeah. You going to get some decals for that? Some custom decals? Or are you just going to go with... Does it come with stock decals?
It comes with
kit?
It comes with them, but I'm going to use some from other kits as well.
Nice.
So, are these models for the homebrew campaign?
The cathedral.
Yeah, the cathedral
will be.
is. The plane is not. This is for a different game.
Yeah, that flyer that Deacon's working on is for his Warhammer 40k game. And this is a 3D printed cathedral that I did a couple years ago, and it sat on my shelf. I took a little time off of painting because you can get burned out on it. Like it's a cool hobby. It's a super cool hobby, but some of these details get so fiddly that you just kind of like need to step away and take a break from it.
Yeah.
The whole cathedral itself is probably about, I don't know, close to 2 feet long by a little over a foot wide and a little over a foot tall. I'll put the whole thing up here on channel soon. I'm getting close to finishing this. I say that now, and then watch, I'm going to go discover another half a dozen pieces that have to be painted from the ground up, and I'll be like, oh, snap.
Too much. Oh. I have noticed with this, and it may just be the color, but sometimes, like, if you use even a little too much, it's really hard to get that stain off. And it might just because I'm like doing a black pin wash on an almost white model.
Yes. Those pigments in the black paint are really coarse, and they will grind themselves into the lighter pigments.
Yeah.
White paints are heavy pigment as well.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't do well stacked up against darker stuff. Any red, it'll tint pink because it's white.
Yep.
You know, so I can totally see that. All right, I'm running out of stuff here. Start at the top so this runs down. And I know I mentioned this before last time we were on stream and we were painting this stuff up, but like the more I work on this, the more I want to go back to England and really take just go nuts again and take a whole bunch of pictures of the architecture.
Yeah.
Kinda somewhat did that last time we were there, but because we were there for the memorial, I wanted to be there. I wanted to be present and not behind the camera lens all the damn time. Actually see the family and talk with them and hang out. Next time, all bets are off. I'm going to take several battery backups and several card backups for images. I don't know if you know this or not, Deacon, but the first trip that I went to England with a digital camera...
Did you go through like 3 cards?
I took over 6,000 pictures.
Yep.
And I came home and I spent 2 weeks weeding through them, getting them down to like...
Winchester was a really good place. Been there a couple times. I don't think we went to Winchester, did we?
No. We spend most of our time in the north of England where my wife's family's at. Up in the Lake District in Cumbria. Broughton Mills, which is in Broughton-in-Furness. I spent some time down in London. Deacon did. We took him there when he was like 11, maybe 10 or 11. Excuse me. Spent a couple days in London, Westminster Abbey area. Saw the Tower of London, Queensbridge. A lot of places. Dinner at the Red Lion. That was really cool. That's when we took you to the Harry Potter studio tour. Alright, that wall's done. Oh. Not quite.
6K Holy Paladin?
What's that, Ruby? What's that 6K Holy Paladin about? Oh, this was dumb. I just leapt right into this. I should have double checked.
Oh, 6,000 images.
Oh yeah, yep. It was a lot. I'm not a professional photographer, but I'm an artist, so I've got that eye where, like, I'll see something that I like and I'll photograph it, but I'm a perfectionist also, and just, like, maybe a little touch of OCD, so it's like I'll get 2 or 3 pictures of the same thing, you know, because they're all different. They'll all come out different, slightly different angles, slightly different exposure, again, because I'm not a professional. And then I'll just go through them and I'll see which ones I like and I'll delete the others. And I'm glad I do that, because oftentimes you'll get a picture and you'll think, oh, that looks really good, and you're looking at it on your camera, whether it's an actual, you know, digital SLR or it's on a camera phone, and you're looking at it on the LED and you're like, oh, this looks pretty good. Then you get it home on the big computer and it's like, oh, this looks like crap because it's out of focus, or, you know, there might be something about it that just doesn't sit quite right. My father-in-law asked me about that one time. He's like, why do you have so many images of the same thing? And I said, I'll show you why. And I pulled up a folder and showed your grandpa, like, the difference between some of those images. And he's like, I would have never even thought of that. A lot of people don't, because they don't, you know, it's like they get a picture, it's good enough, right?
Yeah.
And that's fine. I got nothing against that.
Oh man, I don't know why I decided to do this.
As a technique, you mean?
Not really a technique, but like putting myself through the trouble of washing every like all these little holes across the surface where they're like rivets.
You've got to do that. It's the devil's in the details. That's what makes it look, super cool when people are looking at it and they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you even did the little rivets on there." It's like, yes, all 40,000 of them, and now I know why they call it Warhammer 40,000.
I can't remember if I told you or not, but I'm gonna redo that Bane blade.
Really?
Yeah, I was looking at it and I was looking at how I did it, and I don't really
The
like
Sisters one? Wait, which is the Bane blade you got?
The big tank, like the biggest one.
Oh yeah.
And I don't really like how it came out. So
are you gonna strip it, or are you gonna?
No, God no. That's like over an entire bottle of liquid green there.
Use sandblaster. You'd have nothing left. How I ruined a $75 model.
75. That's being.
Well, how much was that? I can't remember.
150.
Oh Christ!
Same price as Knight.
No, not Beyblade. Bane Blade, Bane.
Yeah.
Sounded like that though. Beyblade, wasn't that
Beyblade, let it rip.
one of my? Is that the magnetic ones with the little balls that you throw on the
No, it's
arena?
Bakugan.
Oh, what was it? Bakugan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beyblade was
all
the
my stuff confused.
Beyblade, that was the one where you go like, you had the arena and you went like, whoosh.
Yeah.
The ripcords, almost like lawnmowers or whatever.
Yeah. Not the blade you give to your bay. That's a different Beyblade. There we go. So we'll do that part 2 while I'm in the front here. Alright. Well, now's the quiet part of the show.
Oh God, there are more back here.
More rivets.
Yep. All along the back of the tail or whatever you'd call it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that thing turns out when you're all done with it.
Hopefully good. Percy Jackson. No, I started it years ago and I never finished.
I'm familiar with the series, but I never read it. I'm on a backlog of stuff to read right now, and kind of stinks because I really want to get back into reading, but every time I pick up a book, it's like, no, I've got to work on this project. Got Metallica on the brain for some reason.
That's weird.
Nice. It's always nice to discover a good book, good series. I think the last thing I read were short stories. They were like short horror stories. More like, not like hack and slash horror, but like deep sort of psychological, almost H.P. Lovecraft type stuff. Things are happening that you were like, oh my god, I didn't see that coming.
Oh, the more I look, the more there are.
It's kind of like doing terrain. You know, you keep finding little nooks and crannies and crevices that you missed, or
Yeah. Sucks though, because it's like this is the boring part before I go on to painting all the fun details.
that's kind of where I'm at with this cathedral. Like this mundane sort of, all right, paint the wash, make it all look dark, get it in the crevices, and then this has got to dry thoroughly before I can go back and start highlighting,
Yep.
dry brushing. But hopefully, when this is done, it'll look really cool. And it won't look like it was done, hopefully, in 7 different sessions. Or with my luck, 27 different sessions. Deacon fell in a rabbit hole. That's pretty much it. Sometimes you do that.
I think tonight is going to be a very, like, slow night for me.
For painting?
Yeah, because after this, because I have to let this dry.
Yeah.
After this, the next thing I'm doing is washing different miniatures.
Oh, okay. It's all good. So do you watch a lot of streamers, Ruby? What kind of stuff do you like when you're on Twitch? Oh, I don't want to go long ways. I'll go sideways there. This is the problem with working with washes like this. Like, when you go one way on the corner, it pulls up around the corner on the other side, you know? And it's like streaks. I hear ya. And I mean that in a honest and sincere way. I have ADD too. I'm old school. I don't say ADHD just because I refuse to believe I have the hyper part. But I was diagnosed a long time ago.
You know what's weird about that?
What's that?
They, for some reason now, instead of just ADD, ADHD, they now have it like ADHD as the normal one, and then sometimes specifically ADHD, but like without the H. Not with the, like, it's ADHD without H.
Huh.
Or without the H.
So just ADD?
Yes, but they don't call it that. Which
That's weird.
Is kind of stupid.
That is. Like, when I was diagnosed, they didn't use the H in the designation, and I've told this story before, so, anybody tuning in that might have heard this, I apologize for repeating it.
Now D&D and Skyrim, because you just started playing Elden Ring. Nice.
Oh,
I
sweet.
have been playing that as well.
Yeah, me too. I was just telling Deacon I ran into Iron Fist Alexander, the warrior pot. I have what they call, at the time, they would diagnose it as type A, type B, or type C. Type A was hyperattention, which was like you super focus on something. Type B was hypoattention, which means you can't pay attention to something. And type C was combo. And I have type C combo because I'm either super focused on the task that I'm working on, and I really get into it, and then when I'm interrupted, I get really irritated at people, and it's not their fault. It's just how my brain works. Or I'm super scattered, and you have to tell me 5 times the same thing, and I will ask, I'm sorry, can you tell me one more time? I just didn't get that the first 27 times you told me. And it took me a long time to figure out how to deal with that and come up with tools that would help me remember lots of lists, lots of to-dos, lots of memes, not memes, mnemonics, to remember things.
Okay,
That's your first Souls game?
All the rivets are done on the top side.
Mine too. I tried Dark Souls a little bit, like Deacon sat with me and tried to teach me a little bit, and I was just getting too frustrated. And then we talked about Elden Ring before it came out, and he convinced me to get it, and I'm happy I did, because I really enjoyed the game. What happened?
I flipped it upside down. Look at this. You see all the ones that are painted on the top side?
Uh-huh.
All the black dots?
Yeah. Oh, and then you're like, oh yeah, and then there's the bottom.
Yeah.
Do you need to let any of that dry so it doesn't run in the top? Or is it probably pretty good?
It's probably pretty good. I'm gonna let it dry anyways, just because I want to move on to washing these next ones.
Yeah.
That's less of a needing it to dry and more just might as well, because I wanna do these. So I need a different palette. And I need clearly a green shade.
Yeah, I hear you. It is a long process. There was some point, like, okay, you're taking the Intro to Sight class,
Already
or you're
finished.
done with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting conversation to have with Chris because, according to psychologists or whatever, ADD doesn't exist. Have you heard that theory?
That's ADHD, but ADD, but ADHD does. Or which one?
Well, ADHD, attention deficit disorder, is not it's a made up thing.
Yeah, because that's the one I know that the Chris.
Yeah, we talked about that before, and I told him, I said, I love you, you're like a brother, I really do, but this is where, like, I don't care what your degree says, it's something, I got something, and I know it's something. It's probably just it's on the spectrum, right? It's just a spectrum disorder.
Yeah.
And that's okay. For me, I think that's where most of my creativity comes from. Oh, almost done with this piece. I will be so happy. Then I can move on to the floor. Then 27 more.
Yep. Then you can move on to the floor, and then the next, 12 pieces of that.
Yeah, thing is I hate to... I have a dear friend who's a psychologist.
He's a licensed professor of psychology.
Yep. And
with a doctorate. He is a doctor of psychology.
He is a doctor of psychology. I am not the type to go arguing with scientists and people who actually have their life degrees in this stuff. But to hear that as somebody who suffers from this condition, it's difficult.
Irritating.
Well, it's difficult.
Well,
it's
yeah.
like, I want to understand the perspective behind it, and it's like, okay, well, if that's not what it is, what is it? And that's where I push back. Like, okay, well, what is it then? Because it's something.
See, what annoys me about that is, like, what is it? It's something, and then I've heard, oh, well, it's ADHD without the hyper. So then it just goes back to, so it's ADD.
Yeah. All right, that piece is done.
Nice.
The only thing I got to do on there, well, roof tiles, torch sconces, and these caps. And then I gotta, once that's all dry, I'll deal with that later. A little bit of a stream buffer there, not much. Yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about. Like, well, like the names, I've heard different names, but generally the philosophy was that the disorder in and of itself was a fabricated thing by some doctor who was looking for a catch-all phrase to give to kids who were just kids, just being kids. And I don't know if that's because the parents were looking for something, like, there's something wrong with my child, what is it? Oh my God, you've got to tell me.
Yeah.
And he said, threw up his hands and said, fine, great, they have ADHD, or ADD, attention deficit disorder. And every freaking kid that I've ever known growing up has had that. So, but I mean, I think there, it goes beyond that. Like, I know there are things that, like, habits and things that I have that go beyond.
I think now, and now that I'm done with the class, I will be entirely honest, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention in that unit, but I think now it is actually proven to be a real thing, because we've got, like, PET scans and CT scans, all of that, and you can actually read the waves in your brain. You can read the, whatever you'd want to call it, like electric waves. You can read the patterns of the neurons in your brain, and there are scans that show, like, hey, these people who claim to have ADHD or ADD, or these people who've been prescribed with ADD, show diagnosed.
You're prescribed medication.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was
well, I agreed with you. I said and then I realized, oh no, wait, that's wrong.
So they can actually say, like, these people who are diagnosed with ADD show different brain patterns, brain activity patterns. And I mean, if that's not, like...
And they're maxing out on the Supra Genius band. How's that for an ego? Supra Genius.
That's gonna look nice.
Doorway should be dirty.
think I'm gonna try and paint this dude's robes white, or this dude's jacket white. Try to give him like little scrubs. And the pain boy.
That's interesting. The part of the brain where your attention is associated with the smaller. Mine is just full of enchiladas.
Ooh.
Instead of shinies, for me, it's like enchiladas or tacos. Tacos? Is that a taco? Easy to distract me. Throw a taco on a fishing line. It was funny to see your friend Dante the other day
At Misty.
Misty 'cause with the new army. I'm like, that didn't take long.
He's actually had that for a while now, like 2020.
Wow.
He's just never really gotten out to play with it. So, because you remember
Well,
when
did he
the
start collecting the Krieg?
Death
Death Guard.
shit,
No,
I don't
not
know.
Death Guard. What do they
Death
call
Corps.
it? Death Corps. Yeah.
I don't know. That was back like a couple of years ago in when he first got into it. So like 18, 19.
In the year 1819.
Yep.
He's been around that long.
Oh yeah. If I had to guess, probably closer to 2018. But you remember I picked up the Indomitus
No, I wasn't
set?
talking about 20. I was talking about 18.
I know.
19. Yeah, the Indomitus set that you
Yeah.
got.
And if you remember, I bought that and then split it half and half with Dante. He took the Necron half.
Oh yeah.
Back in 2020?
That was years ago.
Oh yeah. So that's when he started Necrons. All right, see ya. It's 1:38
Taking
in the
off?
morning.
Wow. Well, thanks for dropping in, Ruby. If you like the show, hit that follow button. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. We're small streamers. We're trying to build our community. If you have Amazon Prime and you want to subscribe for a month, you can check it out. Don't have to renew if it's not your thing, but every little bit helps. We don't make any money at all right now, but if
Yeah.
we do, we're trying to put it back into the stream and
Yeah.
bring some cool
Well, thank
content
you.
and whatnot.
Yeah. Hey, Near okay? How's it going?
Hey, good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Well, thanks for the follow, Ruby. Super appreciate it. We don't have our sound up here because if we have I don't have monitors. Normally, like if we were doing this, playing a game or something, I'd have like earbuds in to monitor the audio, and I'd hear the sound come through when we get a follow. I could probably turn it on over on the laptop, but otherwise we hear when that little ding happens. But super appreciate that. Drop in next week and check us out. We'll be back tomorrow. We're probably going to be playing tabletop games tomorrow, but otherwise, have a good night. What's up, Near okay? What are you up to? How's your evening going? I'm working on... Let's see if I can put this in here. I'm working on a 3D printed cathedral for my fantasy homebrew. And Deacon's working on a Bane blade.
Nope.
Well, now he's moving on to orcs.
I haven't been working on the Bane blade in like a month.
Or not Bane blade. Oh, Jesus
Valkyrie.
Christ. I'm like, this is where... talk about ADD. This is my brain.
Yeah, we were talking
Valkyrie.
about Necrons.
Yeah. So he started that based off of half that box.
Half that box is pretty good. Half that box is about 700 points.
That's good. You can definitely get 50 power level out of that.
Oh,
right?
easily.
For a Crusade
It's more
game.
than that, too.
Sure. Well, that's what I was saying. You probably easily get 50 power level out of that. For a
Plus,
Crusade
it covers,
game.
like, all your basics, you know? HQ, troops, a couple of elites. Might even have had a heavy in there, I can't remember. And, the Recruit Edition of 40k that they came out with.
For Necrons?
No, like, it's one of the... You remember the First Strike or whatever?
Yeah.
It's like that, it's just one of the starter sets.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, and I don't know who made the decision to price it this way, but the smallest edition that you can get is like 30 or 40 bucks. And it comes with a full squad of Necrons, a full squad of... I can't remember what it all comes with. But basically, it's the same price as the... as the Necron Warrior box. You get the same amount of Necron Warriors as the Necron Warrior box.
Uh-huh.
But you also get, like, a rule book that you can sell, a squad of Marines that you can sell, and, like, some cheap cardboard terrain.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So if you ever need Necrons, get that.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, for when you inevitably buy a new army.
No, if I was going to buy an army, it would totally be the Sisters.
Oh.
The Adeptus Sororitas.
Well, you're a bit late to the draw on that one because I've already bought them.
Yeah. So I could get one and call them the Twisted Sisters.
True.
And they could go up against yours.
You paint them up like black and white, do them like Sisters of Mercy.
Yeah. The Sisters of Perpetual Motion. Always, always, always that little inside detailing.
I gotta say, I've tried out washes from a few different companies now, and I think the Citadel ones are just unbeaten.
I like making my own personally, but it's just faster to get them in a bottle.
Yeah, I like
I'm
making my own.
I did this before they were selling all that pre-made stuff. So, you're okay. Do you play Necrons? I mean, it sounds kind of like that's your thing, maybe. If that caught your attention. You play Crusade games and full points games and stuff? I'm sorry, what were you saying, Deacon?
Honestly, I lost it. I completely spaced what I was talking about.
Space Marined it.
Is he doing the traditional Necron paint scheme? He is going with a really cool color scheme, actually, where you put the models together and you just leave them. You don't actually get around to painting them. So that's what he's doing.
Translation: he will probably have Deacon paint them, like his friend Kai did with his Custodes.
Yeah. Or other option is he goes with the spray him silver and then dunk wash him.
Yeah, that's the dip.
Yep, that's the easiest way to do those. So I don't know if I want to start doing the bottom rivets now because oh my fucking god, there are a lot of them. But
rip.
Yeah, I don't know. It's either gonna be yeah, I don't like having the gray tide either. I completely agree with you there. but I paint things so slow. I've got so many different things to paint that stuff rarely ends up getting done anyways, so.
Which is why our Instagram is never fucking updated.
Yup.
If we're being honest. I got no reason not to be honest about that. I hear you though. Like, we talked about this numerous times on stream. I don't like posting shit that's half done up there on Instagram.
Yeah.
What's the point? I mean, here's stage 1. And then like 7 years later, it's like, hey, I finished it.
Yep.
You look at the date stamp on there, you're like, damn, I suck. I haven't used this. I need to come up with a name for this cathedral. Church of the New Order.
One piece at a time, yeah. Exactly. Oh, this is not going to be fun. It's over white.
Holy shit, you're not kidding either. This cathedral is 3D printed in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 pieces. And the whole print took like, what was it, 3.5 weeks or something like that, of non-stop, pretty much around the clock, at the highest print resolution I could get that FDM printer to do. So it came out really nice. Just a couple pieces had some flaws, but they're totally passable as just architectural wear and tear, which made me happy because I didn't have to go through like 2 more weeks of printing just to get a piece perfect. That's where kit bashing comes in, which is the other part of this part of the stream. We do a lot of kit bashing here too. Custom model making and whatnot for Warhammer and
I think at this point it's mostly just me doing stuff for 40K.
Yeah, I do. I bash up stuff now and then, but like I haven't done a whole lot of that.
Once in a blue moon.
Once in a blue moon. But I taught you.
Oh, that's true. Oh, no. Not that color. The other color. Shit.
And it was good to see you firing up that airbrush earlier, too. Glad you're getting use out of that.
Yeah.
It's amazing, like, what a difference good equipment makes, isn't it?
Yep.
Compared to that, like, steaming pile of horse shite we had last time.
Oh, yeah.
Now the next thing you got to do is work on fine lining with that thing.
That
get yourself a new needle.
Yeah.
New nozzle, new needle, new nozzle.
I don't think I need to. That needle's pretty tiny. It's like a 0.1 or a 0.2.
Oh, that, yeah. Shit. Dial it in, man. Get that thing dialed in.
Well, that's the problem, is like getting it dialed in and making sure the compressor's on the right pressure.
Right. But, you know, that's practice, practice, practice. I'm telling you, watch my boy, The Joy of Miniature Painting. I think he's in Greece. And so, like, he comes on...
At that
like,
point, I might as well just, like, watch the Badger YouTube channel.
Yeah, I suppose that'd be a good thing to do, because it's a Badger, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this guy's good. He like, you see some of the stuff he does, and it's just amazing. Guy's got skill.
Mind me dropping an Instagram link to show your custom Necron paint scheme.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll be able to. No.
Oh, you meant the other way around.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I don't think you'll be able to post a link in the Twitch chat because it's Twitch and it automatically blocks that. But if you wanna, oh shit.
Yeah, we've got URL posting blocked, but if you want to drop he could drop the username, or they could drop the username, right?
That's true, or you could also hop in the Discord channel that we have and throw it in there.
That's true, too, yep. hop in there. We can change your status to a viewer. Or we have that automated now, I can't remember. What was it? They have to read the rules and then agree or something, or post, and then they're changed automatically.
I can't remember.
Okay, done with this piece. I should clarify. Let's see. I can't remember. Do you remember me telling you, Deacon, that I couldn't remember how I did my slate tiles?
Yep.
So I'm gonna go grab another piece, and hopefully I'll be able to just jump right in and paint it. So there are,
Alright, that's good enough.
I think, 5 more pieces they have to go.
Ooh, how fun.
Yeah.
I am just absolutely terrified of making, like, any small mistake and getting, like, any other color over this white. You know?
I hear you, but, you know, all you can do is just jump in there and do it, right? Oh, damn. Yep. This is because my brain is on autopilot. That's what I gotta do.
Give me 1 second here, and...
So you know what I started
yeah,
doing?
hold on. You have the viewer role now, so you should be able to post messages if you want to throw a link to your Instagram in there. I had to go in and change that.
Well, yeah, I thought we automated that, but apparently not. Where'd that brush go?
It's right there.
No.
Oh.
That's,
Oh, did you drop a brush?
there it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were just,
rolled under this tackle box where I got these minis.
That sucks.
I thought I could reach it, but I couldn't from there. Well, you know what sucks worse is I started washing this and I haven't even picked out the other colors in it yet.
Ooh.
Yep, rip.
On the floor, or what?
No, here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I didn't do the accent
That
colors.
sucks.
That's fine. It'll, you know, I can do it. Paint it up. It's not that big of a deal.
God, what is up with this? It's like all this gunk built up on the inside of the lid for this Lumia medium. It's making it really annoying to try to close. Alright. Yeah, general chat is fine. Oh my god, that's so much better when I clean that out.
God, I love that stuff. It's just like, really restores those tips. Okay. Make some room. Swear to God, that meme's coming true on my desk again.
Where you paint with like
6 feet of space, and I got 3 inches to work on.
Yep.
Oh, that's the dark. I don't want the dark. I want the lighter. And because this is a big piece,
That's the only chat you see. Huh, that's weird. Give me 1 second, and I can take a look at that.
You mucked about with the rules at one point, too.
That was just for the Dante's Game channel.
Right, but are you sure?
Yep.
Because we have roles, and the roles should be...
I know. I know what the role should be, but
That's not the tan. Where is it? Here it is. Bait suede. Suede. Some of that. Need some of this. Need some golden brown. There we go. All right.
do you know you've had Capricious Gamer in vetting this whole time?
No. Really?
Yep.
Damn, I'm gonna have to send him an apology.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man.
This is where, you know, like, I could really use some help maintaining some of that stuff. Like, I'm still a couple episodes behind
Yeah,
on YouTube.
I noticed.
They're getting there, but work has been cray-cray lately.
Work's work, you know.
Hey, Dynamoose.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm working on a massive... Let's see if we can get this in the camera. There's a little bit of a delay between... I put stuff in there. Massive 3D printed cathedral. It's about a little over maybe 2 feet long by like 14 inches wide by 18 inches or 19 inches tall. It's pretty cool. 3.5 weeks non-stop around the clock printing on a 3D printer. And then it sat on the shelf for like a year or two. And Deacon's like, you really need to paint that. I'm like, yeah, I know I really need to paint that. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm painting it now. And what I'm doing in this step is I'm putting the base coat on. Blocking in some colors that I want to show up. And then once those are dry, I do what's called a wash. And then things start to look like this. See if I can get that a little closer to the camera and not wash it out with the light. It looks terrible on this camera, but like...
Wow, it does.
Yeah, like it's getting washed out by the light. Anyway, it'll have like all these subtle details of stone, different types of stone, dark in the recesses and all that.
And over here, I'm working on a couple different things, but mainly this flyer that I picked up a while back and finally had the chance to prime, and a couple of orcs.
What I really like, what came out really nice on this, are these slate tiles that I did.
That you will never be able to replicate.
I know. I'm just kicking myself in the ass for not writing that paint recipe down.
I gotta, speaking of kicking myself in the ass, I gotta keep remembering to put this back in frame.
don't know. It looks pretty decent.
Well, no, I was painting it over here
Oh.
before.
Oh.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, it sucks trying to paint these engines without like spilling any of that paint over onto
I'm in full fucking ADD mode tonight, I swear to God, because now I don't have Metallica on the brain anymore. I got Where's Your Head At? Where's your head at? Really sucks not being able to listen to music while we're doing this too.
Yeah.
What's the Dino Clan up to tonight?
Twitch mutes you for music? Yeah, that or you get a full-on copyright strike.
Yeah, so you started watching this like after we kind of stopped talking so much about how much YouTube and these DMCA's suck. Digital Millennium Copyright Act, DMCA. And if you so much as whistle a song, you upload your video, your VOD, video on demand from Twitch to YouTube, like numerous streamers do, YouTube has an algorithm that picks it up and says, "Stop right there, criminal scum," and basically you get a slapdown, you get a DMCA strike against you, and because it has an algorithm that recognizes the music, so people who play their own cover tunes of like here I am on my folk guitar playing John Denver, they'll get a strike and they'll get a copyright violation. And if they have enough streamers and they're making money off their tube, the music label can basically confiscate all of the revenue that the streamer makes off of that particular stream. Not the channel, but just that stream. So you can take it down. There are a number of things you can do to remedy that. You need to hit the clock app. They have all of the music. Clock app, huh? Well, see, there are services out there that cater to streamers that say you can use this music, you can use, without worrying about copyright.
Real quick, you're okay. Try to load. Try to put that image back in there. It should hopefully work now. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're still struggling with that?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Anyway, that's the delight that YouTube has become. It's gotten really bad. Twitch, on the other hand, you can get up to 3 strikes before they revoke your account. But generally, what happens is
it's all human reported.
It's all human reported. So like if you're streaming, and let's say you're streaming and you're walking around downtown and you're live streaming, then even TikTok. I mean, you can't get away with that on TikTok either.
You can.
Well,
you don't make money off of it.
If you're not monetizing it, you could still get
you don't make money on TikTok.
No, but I know. But what I mean is you're not. What I mean is you're not monetizing it. You're still violating copyright by broadcasting it.
Yeah.
There's no public license for that stuff. It doesn't work that way. But with YouTube, it's pretty militant. With Twitch, at least, they're trying to work with the music labels and saying, hey, look, sometimes streamers get rated. Sometimes people come in, they play sound files, and the person who's running the channel doesn't intend for that audio to play. So they try to mute it, they try to stop it. So it's pretty clear, like, they're not blatantly just sitting there putting on a CD or an MP3 or of their Spotify channel or their, so... Oh, NeroK said done. It's there.
Awesome. Give me 1 second to not ruin this paint job that I've done with the white here, and then I will go and check that out. I saw, So this is funny. This person took the engines off of Valkyrie, these parts up here, made them into a pod racer. They're like the total fucking pod racer engines.
Say it. Say it.
Now this is pod racing. Yeah, exactly. General chat. Let me see. Oh, those are cool. They're like Skeletor. That is awesome.
Let me see. You got that pulled up?
No, I just closed it. You'll have to pull it up.
Okay. They're Necrons?
Yeah.
Alright. Let me wash the paint off this brush. I'm going to go over there and check it out.
In general.
Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome. That's sweet. Such vibrant colors too.
Check this out. Actually,
Does any of that, hey NeroK, does any of that stuff glow in the dark under a black light? Looks like that shit would light right up. What do you... Oh yeah. Hey, more rivets and bolts. That's cool.
Very funny. So, Deacon, do I ever go out on the weekends? It's funny you should ask that. Today's not Saturday, is it?
No, you lost today. It's
I
Friday.
fucking lost today. I know. Now I thought it was Saturday. Earlier, I thought it was only Thursday. Something's wrong. I think, you know what it is?
What?
It's not having, like, 250,000 things to do for Chris's class.
Right.
That shit.
You have
that
86
shit,
assignments due in the next 24 hours.
That shit kept me grounded. Right now, I don't know what fucking day of the week it is. I do go out on the weekends, but not much lately. You know, there's the whole pandemic kind of like shut down any plans of that nature, which really sucks. But you know, what can you do?
Yeah, but you get to go. You go out there, friends. Like not
I
as
know,
much as you would be. Like
not as much as I would.
Yeah.
Had there.
But you've been to Rocky
Not
Horror
been a
Picture Show several
pandemic.
times. You've been to a concert or two in the last 6 months.
Since COVID, just one.
Well, we saw Bongzilla,
Bongzilla.
and then we saw, what did we see before that?
We did?
Yeah, I thought we went. You and I went to another one down there at the
No, we
Sylvie or
had
something.
yeah, if you get the Silent King, you'll paint his head yellow. That would be great. We had a ton planned, but we never actually went to them because they all got canceled.
Canceled as in, like, postponed.
Yes.
Sorry. Cancel that concert.
Bongzilla, yeah, local death metal band from around here.
Check them out, Adrian. You'd probably dig them. Their new album is called Weedsconsin, and Mikey's a friend of ours. Mikey used to work with Jennifer at the coffee shop, or the co-op, I think it was, like 20, 30 years ago. 40 years ago now.
Jesus
Holy Christ.
Yeah.
It's been that long. And now Mikey's got a new initiative he's trying to start up. It's called Mule Boy and the Drug Charges, or something like that. So I think we missed their last date that they played here, and now they're going on a big Euro tour.
No, we hit that one.
I thought they did one
the
more
High Noon.
here, but we couldn't. We were debating on whether we're going to go or not. Milwaukee. Well, yeah, that's what that's what I'm talking about. It
I
was
guess.
after. It was after the one we saw at High Noon. Bongzilla at the High Noon Saloon.
Yep.
Imagine that.
I'd have to guess that's when they chose the menu. The Devil's Cabbage.
The Devil's Cabbage. There you go.
Speaking, this is great. This ties two topics together. As far as going out and doing things, I actually did just go out earlier today with some friends and hang out at the mall. It's crazy.
He
People
got
still
told.
do that.
He got told the most awesome compliment today. It was fucking hilarious. Somebody told him he looks like the more goth version of Jay from Silent Bob and Jay. Snoogey boogies. Oh my god. And speaking of going out, this summer we're going to see New Order at the U.S. Bank Pavilion in Chicago.
Rammstein.
And Rammstein in Minneapolis.
Oh yeah.
The Pyro Tour, or whatever the hell it's called.
The Flammen Jamin.
Flammen Jamin
Yeah,
Fest.
that's it.
The Flammen Jamin Fest concert.
Oh, that's gonna look nice. I'm already liking the way this recipe is turning out. And
Oh. 21 and up.
Yeah.
You know, we're having a problem with that here. Like, every once in a while they have an 18 and over thing, but most of the time you got to go out to Milwaukee, and Milwaukee is like an hour and 15 away. That's
An hour
not
and
bad,
15
but nobody, you know, I'm too old to be freaking going out there drinking, driving him back.
yeah.
I mean,
Driving back hour
you
and
and your-
35 at like 2 in the
you know,
morning.
you could get your friends to go out there, but like,
But then I don't want to bother them either. Like, hey, you want to go to this thing that you might not have any interest in? It's an hour and like
Yeah,
30-minute
that's
drive each
true.
way. Road trip to Houston, but that's a whole thing exactly. It's like, how far is going too far to see a concert? Like Rammstein, that's a pretty big one. We're driving all the way out to Minneapolis to see that, but that's only because
Well,
like
it's
that's
the
the
same-
closest one.
so the drive from here, from Madison to Minneapolis, is the same as from here to Detroit.
Oh no,
It's
no,
about
I'm
8
saying
hours.
I'm saying like there are some concerts where it's more worth it to drive further out. Like we're fine driving 8 hours to go see Rammstein. It's Rammstein. It's a
Yeah.
massive thing.
Yeah, they
But,
haven't been
like-
here in like, what, 20, 30 years? or
Yeah,
whatever?
something like that. Yeah, but like Bongzilla, they're cool. I wouldn't drive 8 hours to see a show.
Right.
You know?
Sorry, Mikey, if you're watching.
Sorry. I paid for the album, which should really tell you something. Check that out when you have a
Hang
minute.
on. Now, what sucks is, like, if we would have waited to get tickets this year, we could see them in Chicago. And that'd be so
Oh,
much easier.
Yeah.
But they didn't have a Chicago show scheduled 2 years ago when we first bought the tickets. It's been, 3 years ago or whatever. It's been postponed twice.
Yep.
So
2020 originally. Look at
what
the
am I looking at? What'd you do different now?
look at the left arm versus the right arm. That first highlight on there.
Yeah.
It's already gonna look great.
Yep. Cool. Using those contrast paints?
Nope.
Just a wash, old school wash.
Yep. Wash and glazing. Try to put this up to the camera here. I don't know how well it's...
Circle Jerks. I think I just read an article on them about them touring. And there's not a delay on the... there's a little tiny delay in the chat, but I'm just delayed in reading it, so I'm kind of going backwards here.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to complain about painting rivets. For some reason, I decided to start an Imperial Guard army, which that's already a mistake with the amount of models that I have to paint. But on top of that, I decided to buy a Baneblade and try to pin wash every single rivet on there. Which did not go well. I haven't touched that thing in like a month.
You know, there are times when you just really want to kick yourself in the ass. And I mean, like, kick yourself in the ass good.
What'd you do?
Well, it's for what I didn't do.
Oh, what'd you not do?
I didn't paint the edges of the tiles. Look.
Oh.
They could have matched in that color scheme.
Yeah, but you're never going to see the edges of those tiles.
Because
there's more roof sections on each side.
This is true, but you know, I kind of had like, if you highlight them, if you paint them, I could just highlight them. That's what I could do.
Yeah.
They blend better, because otherwise, then what happens is you have like distinct dark lines.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess I could do that. Gotta find that slate gray or whatever the hell it was, sky gray or something weird I used.
It's not sky gray, I can tell you that much.
Well, not in that line of paints, but in army painter paints it might be.
Yeah, I guess. Sky gray is really good on Valkyrie.
You take it easy with that foot. Don't go slamming in the mosh pit. That'd be a little disastrous. Let's set that right there. Let's work on this. Going to the zoo tomorrow, huh? That's cool. We got snow here. Can you believe that? Freaking snow.
It's like a motherfucking
we didn't just get
blizzard
snow.
out there.
We got like some giant Italian shaving Parmesan down on everybody. These flakes were coming down. I swear to God, they were like bigger than a 50-cent piece. Thin like snow, but like...
Big.
2 inches, 2.5 inches across by like 1.5 inches, just coming down like... It was crazy. Okay, back to this.
Yup, snow. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm done with the snow.
I've been done since early January. Yeah, pretty flakes. We're in this weird time right now where it'll snow in the evening, in the night, and in the morning, because it's cold enough. But then, like, by the midday, it's already all melted, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we were just at 71 degrees the other day, too.
Yep.
And now it's back down to, like, 29 or something. It's crazy. It's like, bye, Felicia. You can go. Take that snow with you.
You know what I'm starting to realize?
What's that?
I actually really like painting muscles. It's a lot more fun to highlight than just, like, edge highlighting, like, flat panels. Like, the same flat panels on 20 different Space Marines, you know?
I'm so tempted to just do my Austin Powers. Oh, behave.
Shut up.
They make body paints. Acrylic body paints.
Oh, you know what I've also just realized?
1996 here.
I wasn't actually painting muscles. Those were leather straps from his helmet.
Oh my god. Need some glasses?
It's this, it's because it's all the same color right now.
Okay, son. I mean, I know you're 18 now. You're getting old.
You saying something? Also, this is great. I got some of this paint out on my palette for highlighting these.
Uh-huh.
And as it turns out, that was the stuff. It was still on the top. It was the stuff that I'd thinned down for the airbrush last night. So it is
cool.
the perfect consistency for glazing on these highlights.
That was on your wet palette?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Buy that kid an anatomy book. Just get him a copy of Honcho. Sure, he can figure out by context what that means. Just waiting for him to blush or say, "Shut up, Dad."
Speaking of weird shit, you know what I just realized while I'm looking at the detail on this?
Your dad's a freak.
Yeah. This orc. Take a look at this orc's chest. Tell me what you notice. I'll wait. That orc has a fucking nipple ring.
Yeah, he does. I was turning it like, wait, I can't let my eyes adjust. I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome.
So the biker orcs.
You to paint a big handlebar mustache on him?
Oh, fuck. Man, I fucked up my neck somehow. And I'm not enjoying it. Other than that, did you look at the highlights on there?
No, not really. I was trying to...
Oh, here it is again. Oh god, I dropped it.
Oh my god. Beefcake! Yeah, that's looking good. Here you go. She got posters up in her room of like teen heartthrobs. I remember Teen Heartthrob Tony. Was that his name? Oh, Adrian, what was his name? This is almost as bad as painting rivets.
What, picking out individual bricks?
Yeah.
I'd say that's better because at least with the rivets, you know, it's like...
Austin.
They're so...
Tony Teen Idol.
With the rivets, they're so small, you know, you like one tiny slip and you've just gotten paint all over whatever surface it is they're on, you know?
Yeah, well, that's why I qualified it, but like saying almost as bad.
I didn't
Just because
not catch
there's
that.
a lot of fiddly work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth it in the long run. It pays off, but
You know what?
what's that?
I'm gonna run out and grab the bikes to put these guys on because I just realized that would be so much easier than just trying to like hold them by 1 foot and like move them around to paint them.
You wouldn't happen to be going up the stairs by any chance,
Nope.
would you?
God, again, working out a frame.
Yeah, I guess I am too, kinda, now that I'm looking at it. I got my hands in here.
Hey, Jimenez! How's it going?
Hey, long time no see, Adam. How's it going? Should check his account, too, while we're at it.
Probably should.
Ooh, snap. So I think Dante deserves a beer working with you, Deacon.
You know, I'm actually gonna... That jinx that I just got there said the same thing. I'm gonna reverse that. Instead of you getting me a drink, I'm gonna have you get your own drink.
How have you been? We haven't seen you in ages. I gotta check your Discord account too, because we just discovered there was a bug or something in how we had the permissions set up, and the roles all should have changed, and they didn't for some people. So I'm feeling kind of like crappy about that right now. So I apologize if you were trying to ever post in the Discord and it was acting funny or I wouldn't let you.
Yeah, tech work is not always fun. Tell him about it.
You do tech work? That's been my life for like the last 30 plus years. Been good to me though. Just I wish I would have woke the fuck up and paid attention earlier and I could have retired by now.
Over 400 people's laptops. God, I'm sorry for you.
That's a lot. The only thing I ever maintained in that quantity was a phone system for an engineering company. They had like this. They had the Cadillac of phone systems. This thing was like way overkill, and I think they had 320 individual DIDs, direct inward dials, that I managed in their system. But those were pretty easy. It's not like troubleshooting a computer or a laptop.
I'm gonna have to like bring my camera back a bit because I can't work that far up my bench.
I think I'll do this cap gray and then I'll switch up colors. That's cool, yeah. Nowadays, I have minimal direct contact with people that have issues with PCs. Thank goodness. It's mostly just the system I administer, learning management system for a biosciences company. Deacon's working on some Warhammer 40,000, 40K stuff.
I got a... You mind if I...
No, go ahead.
I've got a Valkyrie from my Imperial Guard. It's a pretty cool flyer that I just picked up recently. Well, picked it up about a month or so ago. But I've only had the chance to prime it recently because of the weather. And I've also got some orcs that I'm working on. Orc bikers. Which I can try to see if this will show up on camera.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay, like in the stream and like what we're seeing. So when you put it in there, I'm working on a 3D printed cathedral for my homebrew game. Once we get back to the tabletop version of that, that is. This is a massive piece. It's like, shoot, I don't know, a little over 2 feet long maybe, and about 14 inches wide by about 19 inches tall. when it's all assembled. And there's a lot of fiddly work here, picking out these bricks to give it depth and some variation in color. I thought I was done, and then I realized I had to do the inside, Deacon. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. So I gotta keep working in gray, and then switch to another color.
40k gets freaking expensive. It's like the boat of table. About another 1,000, yep.
That's the truth. That's why I avoided it for damn near my entire hobby career. And then this one, 3 years ago. 3 years ago now? 4 years ago?
18.
What's that?
2018.
Okay, so 20, 22, 4 years ago.
Yep.
These models are cool. I'm just going to get 3 of them.
Yep, just 3.
Several armies later.
You know what? I will defend. I will die on that hill. I just got 3. Just 3 armies at first.
At first. Hope y'all could hear that. Qualifying phrase, at first. That's like Joe's character. Through Belial, all things are possible. Usually within 24 hours. Oh no, the face cam's frozen.
Oh, it is.
This happened last time we did this too. That's working. I wonder if I pull that plug out and put it back in. Let me see if we can do something about that. Your face is frozen in the best possible place. We'll make that the
No, let's not make that the.
Let's see, that comes down on that side. That means I gotta go all the way around. Which one is that? I'm gonna guess this. That's your bench cam. Meme it, chat meme it.
Don't start it in the Discord.
What's up?
So don't start it in the Discord.
Well, let's see. I wonder if I can take this out. Let's see.
Man, what is up with this?
Gonna get a close up of me here in a minute if this works. If not. No, I'm not looking too good here.
Well, it popped back on, but it's still frozen. I wonder if it's the software like OBS being dumb. Yeah, it might be. We've had issues with that before. Wouldn't entirely surprise me.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like if I unplug it and plug it back in, there's no guarantee that that's going to fix it.
No, it actually didn't. It's back on, but it's still frozen.
So here's the center cam. Pull this out. That goes over there. That goes over there. Here. So we shall just blame Deacon for not getting you a beer. Alright, I can handle that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this all the way out. Let's see. So everything else seems to be working fine in OBS. Video capture device. I don't know if you can hear me from over here and you're okay, but like I use Master's brush cleaner like every time I'm done for the night. I got Deacon a tub, but he doesn't use that a whole lot, so.
In fact, I don't think I've ever touched it. I keep meaning to. I just, haven't.
There we go. I'll put this on.
Even down to the USB port it's in. Yeah, we've had that. Hey, it's working again.
Custom.
What did you do?
I took it completely out as a source, and then I just put it back in. All right, excellent. Where is it? So this is the brush cleaner I use. You can get this on Amazon. They used to carry this in some local hobby stores, but I haven't seen it in ages. It's called the Masters Brush Cleaner and Preserver. After I'm done painting for the evening, that's usually what I hit my brushes with. And then after I rinse it out, I put a little bit on there, like almost like a conditioner, like a coating, and it restores the tips pretty decently.
Did I do this one?
Alright, where was it? Did the outside? Was it working on the inside?
Are all brush cleaners built the same, or is it like weird oil? You get what you pay for. That's a good question. You've used more brush... Oh god, bumped my camera. You've used more brush cleaner than I have, so...
Well, you want to, like, okay, so no, they're not all the same. There are some that are a little harsher than others, but, like, it really depends on what kind of brushes you're using. I use a combination of synthetics and sable, so I'm going from, like, literally cheap craft store stuff. If I'm doing big pieces like this 3D printed stuff, I'm going to use, like, brushes that I don't care if they get wrecked, because I have a lot of surface to cover. And with the 3D printed models, we're talking inside and out, so again, a lot of detail, and the tips get all banged up. So I'm not so concerned about them. But there are some synthetics that I have that I really like, that I use over and over for detailed stuff when I'm doing minis, so I want to make sure that those tips maintain their shape. Masters I found is really gentle as far as, like, soaps go. I've used other stuff that has a little more, I don't know, chemicals. I don't know what the chemicals are, but not so good. I don't use anything like turpentine or mineral spirits because I'm not using oil paints.
Although you'll have to soon with that, like, giant tub.
Yeah, well, that's if I use that shade from Army Painter. That's a urethane-based, polyurethane sort of thing. And I might just wind up giving that away to somebody or selling it, because I honestly don't know if I want to use it. Like, I don't want to go through all that trouble. I guess we'll see. Oh, dude. Fuck. How am I going to do this?
You know,
Time to switch brushes.
I am pretty happy that I didn't go with the paint scheme for these orcs that I was originally planning on going with.
Go with this one.
I was gonna do like a real, like, quick and dirty, spray it, contrast paint, done. Cause I figured, oh, a lot of orcs. Don't wanna do a whole lot. But really just putting the time into, like, highlighting this and doing the blending, it is pretty fun, and I think it's gonna look a hell of a lot better.
Gotta switch the big glasses for this. So, Adam, you missed out on, like, God, we were having, like, every problem under the sun with the stream a couple weeks ago. Just shit was crashing left and right. Could not run a game. Got our network upgraded here. Got some new equipment. It's working out better. It turns out the problem is my desktop. It's just getting old. Getting ready to give up the ghost. Won't keep up with some of the stuff I'm trying to stream. But it was pretty frustrating there for a couple weekends. Trying to get stuff going.
Yeah. Bench cam is frozen again.
Again?
Mm-hmm.
Son of a bitch. No, that genuinely could be USB overload. What I should have done is I should have unplugged that other camera that we're not using. The tabletop cam.
Probably.
And plug it in tomorrow if we're going to be doing any kind of board games. Tabletop. What are we doing tomorrow, by the way? What are we going to stream?
No clue.
You want to do a video game or you want to do a tabletop game?
let's do a video game because I'm gonna be out for a bit, getting dinner, and I don't want to have to like scramble to help pick out a board game or whatever. Get all that set up.
Sounds good.
Clean off the table.
Your child is the devil. we got one of those. I've got a
What, a devil child?
devil child right here. I've got a 10-port AC powered hub, so I mean we got it plugged right into the wall. The problem is I've got a fairly decent it's basically Alienware laptop, and it's got an NVIDIA 3070 in it, and so I've got 3 AverMedia cams hooked up to it. No, is that right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3 AverMedia cams, and then I've got a Logitech C930 hooked up into. So the 3 AverMedias are hooked up directly into the laptop, into the USB ports. Then on the USB-C port, I've got the USB hub hooked up, and the Logitech C930 is plugged into that. Then I've got like a Stream Deck in there. I've got like the Fi-Fine mic. It's just, what else do we have in there that's USB? The mouse. I can take the mouse out. But I think what I'm getting is, I just read about this recently, it's called USB static, USB overload, basically, where if you're sucking up too much power in your USB, that can blow some things. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. But I know at one point, when we had shit unplugged, it seemed to work a little better. So I might just do that in a minute. Go over there and pop off this other camera that's over there.
Maybe time for a new computer. The game room computer, the one that we have down here that we're using right now, probably not, because this one's pretty powerful. It's a workhorse, but yours,
yeah,
your machine, that's on its way out.
The all-in-one that I have, definitely gonna have to replace that. It does the graphics card, because it's an all-in-one. I can't upgrade any of those internal components like that. Just the memory, the RAM, and the hard drive, and that's about it. And that's not really going to help for the throughput. I need graphics processing power because I'm running 3 monitors, and I'll have like roll 20 as a guest cam, and then I'll have like my dungeon notes and stuff on one. OBS, I have like the whole setup when we do the RPG. But if I try to run a video game on there, it just doesn't have the... I've got a quad-core processor and 32 gigabytes of RAM. It's an i7 7700 quad-core processor. So, I mean, I got some good guts, but the GPU, I have a Radeon 570. It's, like, really old, and it's only got, like... It's either 4 or 8 megabytes of video RAM. So, it's not a lot. And it just can't handle the video processing. But this, on this deck, this is pissing me off because this should be able to handle this USB traffic. Unplug this. What time is it, by the way?
I don't know. 9:50.
Let's see. Video capture.
What y'all at? Add as far as what?
I think I meant where.
Oh, where y'all at?
Yeah.
CST. Great Old Wisconsin. Yeah, we will.
We'll see you.
Thanks for stopping in.
Let's see. Is it going to pick up? See, now it doesn't even want to recognize that camera. Try this. Take it out. Put it back in. Logitech. Your video. Focus. Custom.
Same being in the same time zone as the stream I'm watching. Yeah, I know. I have the same feeling because a lot of the stuff I watch is either streamed out of like out west, like California, or way, way over in England. So, hey, thanks for following. You're okay? So it is weird being in the same time zone as the person streaming.
Okay, the camera's live again. Guess we'll see. Apologize for that. I guess we'll see how long this is going to last. I'll have to do some troubleshooting on this one too. It's always something. The life of a techie. It's definitely not fun. Definitely not fun when it's live on stream.
No. So you may be able to use IP cams if those Avery cams have that ability, or use a camera server like one desktop that just does the cameras. Huh.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I've got enough spare equipment around here. I could probably throw something together. I was really hoping when I upgraded this laptop. Now the deck that we have in the game room, it is much more powerful, and so it is able to do multi-threading and multi-streaming with all the resources. But it's I was reading on the AverMedia forums and on the Logitech forums that there's specifically an issue with the AverMedias have to go directly into the USB ports on the machine. They don't do well at all in a external hub, even if it's AC powered. So that's kind of a pain in the ass. And we got it to work, but just like all of a sudden, I should see if Aver has new drivers. And Logitech, I haven't updated the drivers on those cameras in a while.
That's a good idea.
I'll bet you that would do it. That would probably fix it.
Off stream.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I'm not gonna do it now.
No, do it now.
You live in Florida, okay? Yeah, who got pictures of snowflakes? Chris. Chris got pictures of them. Your mom and I were standing there stupidly at the door going, wow, look at that. We should get pictures of this. You got your camera? No. You got yours? No. Where's it at? Oh, it's downstairs, and we didn't bother to go get it. But it was huge. The snow was absolutely freaking huge. It was crazy.
It was.
It was like giant shaved chunks of Parmesan coming down. That's a new word to South Texas people. Snow. Yeah, I just talked to my primo down there in Mission. He lives in Mission, Texas. And he asked how it was going. I go, it's snowing. That's how it's fucking going. I'm not very happy with that. Because, here we are, like...
Man, we had, 2 days of, 70-degree weather. It was great.
We were, in T-shirts and shorts and ready to go hang out and party.
Uh-huh. I was like, get out the grill, man. This is the right weather.
Well, let's be honest. It's Wisconsin. We get the grill out when it's 20 degrees out.
Yeah. You have a point.
But still, it's like, Mother Nature, the tease. She's a cruel mistress.
You know, I don't know why I did this, but do you remember just a bit ago I was saying I should grab the bikes?
Yeah.
It's going to be easier to paint them. I had my mind set on doing that. I'm already on the last orc, and still have not done that.
They're just sitting there, or that you didn't get them yet?
I just didn't get them yet.
Well, as much as I feel like I got done, now I feel like I'm behind. I know that sounds stupid, but I don't know what it is. All of a sudden, I feel like I'm not as far ahead as I thought I was. I didn't realize there were 5 more pieces to this I had to do, and I was thinking, I can just wash. I can go through all of them and wash them. But no, I got to do all the little individual brickwork before I do that.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same way. Like, I started highlighting these orcs just earlier, and I was like, this is really cool. These look great. Oh, I can't wait for these to be done. And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, I just finished priming the bikes. I haven't done anything on those.
Yeah. Block out the basic colors and...
Luckily, I can do the basic colors in the airbrush. And now I got that fixed and got the nozzle working again. That should go much better.
Let's see. Bust out my old art academy painting skills.
Away, but Dante, when are you using real set pieces for your game? Do you actually put... No, not really. Well, I mean sometimes, but not like writing on walls or whatever. Because most of the terrain gets reused anyways.
So I changed philosophies over the years as I the more games that I ran and the more experience I got as a DM or GM. And initially we did everything pen and paper, pencil and paper. Then minis came along, started using minis, and then, terrain was this cool thing, and you had a tree, and I got a rock, and I got a mountain, or whatever, really simple.
Mm-hmm.
And it was mostly just to give a little bit of atmosphere. And then as terrain started becoming more complicated, or more detailed and cooler, bought a couple of buildings, and thought, okay, these buildings would be good to have a tavern. Everybody can gather around there and start their adventure, or get into a bar fight or whatever. Now, when I'm setting pieces up, I have pretty detailed boards, and if it's a forest board, I try to put everything out there except for the encounters, like the figures. So everything that's on the board, they're going to see, like their adventuring party would see. So if somebody says, well, what do I see? Is this log here? Is this campfire here? Yes, that's set up like you're going to see it. So it depends on what you mean, like when you say like hints. It can be, because I can have things. I have so many little bits and pieces, little books, little scrolls, little urns. You name it, little piles of gold, little gems. If it was something that I really wanted them to see and say, "Oh, what's that?" I would put it out. Otherwise, theater of the mind. Some things are too, you can't do a really intricate puzzle lock, for example, and you just have to describe it and let them imagine it.
If you're good at like woodworking, I'm sure you could.
Yeah, that's true. You probably could. You'd have to have like a warehouse, store all your shit, because you'd have so much stuff. It's funny that you say that, reduce, reuse, recycle. Yeah, that's kind of what I do, because what I've realized, so I'm, full disclosure, I'm 54, just turned 54 this year. I've been gaming since I was 12. That's when I first played my very first D&D game. I was 12 years old. And that day that I played that game, I went home and I immediately asked my parents, can I please get this rule set? Can I please get this game? And I started writing down notes and building my own adventure world. Had no freaking clue what I was doing. I didn't care. I was having so much fun. But what I learned over all that time of playing and running games is that there are typically three types of adventures, three things that are going to happen. They're going to be in the city, they're going to be in the forest, or they're going to be on the ocean. You know, like I count the cave as forest. That's why my terrain, my forest table will do double duty if I need to do a dungeon. Plus, I have a topper that goes on the table behind us. It's like a sandbox. It's got rails around the edge, so I can set up a dungeon inside of there. Cover the top of it up with another game board. They're adventuring in the forest. They come to a cavern entrance. They go into that. I pull the whole game table off, and boom, there's the whole cavern set up on the inside. That makes it pretty easy. So then what you learn is, like, you don't need... Even though I have a boatload of terrain that I've collected over the years, you know, it comes down to there are a few basic types of adventures, and if you get a few key pieces that can make do for that, then you could run some pretty good games if you're into 3D tabletop terrain.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the truth is, you get to be my age, and the question you say is, where the fuck am I going to put all this stuff? You know, you collect so much stuff, it's like you run out of shelf space.
Yep.
And Deacon can tell you, like, I've rearranged this room like 3 or 4 times and had to get different shelves to keep up with the terrain, and I just finally at one point said, that's it, I'm done, I got enough. Got enough to run for the rest of my life, pretty much.
And then I got into 40K, so we needed all new, you know, non-fantasy terrain.
Oh my god,
obviously.
That's a whole other story. Yeah, all your 40K shit.
Yeah, build a guest house for all that.
Exactly. Well, let me see. Maybe I can...
I wish you could see how y'all are painting. Yeah, it's, these cameras are really nice, but they do still kind of suck for close-ups. They're much better than the old ones, don't get me wrong, but, like...
Oh yeah, the old ones are terrible.
It's still hard to get, like, a close-up and to do all of that.
And the colors, too. It's hard to, like... I imagine if I spent a day just tweaking the camera settings, I could get some really, really good one-to-one color match.
That is until you have to remove the camera as a source because of some issue.
Right, and then it resets to the default. Plus you have the temperature of the light. Like if I change the temperature of this light, like... Well, that's...
yeah.
That changes. What I want to do is turn that
first
up.
person view. We have the setup to do that. We have the have the space. I'm a bit cramped because I got this table behind me. But the problem with a first person view is we'd either have to wear a GoPro, which are expensive, and also I don't want to paint with like cords dangling off my head, you know.
Yeah.
Or the more common one is there's a camera, like I don't know exactly where the camera view is on here, but there's a camera that sits in front of you, and it focuses down on what you're painting, and that's the easier way to do it. But also, then I'm trying to like paint around a camera that's sitting in my way, and it's kind of like, yeah, this is tough.
Yeah, to kind of give you an idea, like, I have this set of goggles over here I'm going to pull up in just a second.
You use the cam viewer to do the painting like a microscope thing. Yeah?
So I've got these that I use for like detailed work. Let me see if I can lean in here. They light up. They got a little LED light on them, and they got like this from like 1 times to 3 times magnification. So if I'm doing really super fine work, I can see the detail. You can see right down into my pores. It's kind of cool, actually. So that would kind of prohibit like if I needed to switch to these and then wearing a GoPro or something like that. But we tried. Initially we just had one camera on the bench, and we got in the angle. It was a wide angle camera, and we were able to get in there, but like you really couldn't see.
It was like the center cam.
Yeah, it's exactly like the one that's right here in the middle. You couldn't really see the detail. So I was watching a bunch of streams online, and I saw this guy who had a boom arm set up, and he had a ring light on it, and he had a camera, and it was shooting down like this, like our close-up cams are here. And I said, well, I really like that setup. How do you have that? And he was like, oh, here's all the equipment I got off of Amazon. And he sent me all his links. And it's pretty decent. I mean, like I said, it'll show when we're not lazy, when we actually get the piece in there, you can see the stuff. It just depends. Like if I put a mini on, if I put a miniature on this paint stick, and if I were working on this, you can kind of see that pretty decently. I'm watching the stream right now on my mobile, and I can see how that's right in the frame. So
yeah,
it's not too bad. I mean,
problem is I rarely use the painting handles now because half the shit I'm painting isn't on a base.
Yeah. Yeah, but like if there's if you're ever tuned in and you want there's something you want to see a little closer, you could just shoot it a message right in chat and say, hey, can you zoom in on that, or you're being sarcastic because the model that's being painted isn't being shown. But yeah, like give us a reminder too, because we get going. Once we get going and we're painting, it's like we're into it, man. It's like oh, don't forget to check chat, but like
which we do most times.
Yeah. But sometimes, it goes off camera, and it's like, oops, sorry. It's like going to a peep show, if you pay for the peep show, it's like you want the peep. It's like, hey, get back in the... oh, wait a minute. Wrong stream. Totally wrong stream. Oh my god, speaking of going off the rails like that, which is a totally appropriate thing. Derailed Games, I was hanging out with them a couple nights ago, and they were playing, what the hell were they playing? Sea of Thieves. And, oh my god, they just went so crazy. Nope, right stream, totally right. This stream I was hanging out with the other night, their chat was just off the hook. They were just like, the debauchery. It was hilarious. It was so much fun. But I was like, dang, I'd mess around, say that on stream, and then get booted with my luck. Some cool people out there. That's another one. I can't get to the keyboard right now, but check out Derailed Games. It's D3, D the number 3, Railed. I gotta put them on the auto host them too. They've been really cool to us, sending people our way.
Oh, that's cool.
Plus, they invited us to play Sea of Thieves with them.
Oh, cool. To the second round of highlighting this here. In your opinion, is contrast paint cheaper than regular paint? No. Well, I mean, it depends. Bottle for bottle, contrast paint is more expensive. It's about $7 or $8. Well, over $8 with tax for a
That's GW.
Yeah.
Citadel.
Specifically GW paints, and I would not recommend the Army Painter Speed paints, but I'll get into that later. So for a bottle of Citadel contrast paint, it's $7.89, $7.99 at least around here, plus tax. Whereas you can get a normal pot of paint for about $4 or $5.
Yeah.
So on a bottle-to-bottle basis, it's more expensive.
Well,
But then it also depends on how you use it, because contrast paints, you can put them in the airbrush, and that'll like drastically increase how much use you get out of them. You can, whatever, it really comes down to like how much you're using. If you're using 3 bottles, it's probably more expensive to buy contrast than normal. But sometimes there are just those little moments where having that like contrast paint comes in really handy.
Which goes back to what I was saying earlier about like when I started painting, we did all of our own washes, and basically a wash is simply acrylic paint thinned down with water. Period. Boom. Done. And it's cheap. It's cheaper to do it that way. But I can tell you, I love the ability to go out and buy a ready-made one, because if I'm in a mood to paint and I want to paint, I don't want to mix. I really have to be chill and vibing to say, okay, tonight I'm going to mix my own hues. Tonight I'm going to make my own washes. I don't care. Most of the time it's like when I get into the groove and I'm painting, I just want to keep going. So I want to reach over for a bottle.
Yep.
Pre-made, squirt, splashing on there, done. So that it's a trade-off. You're always going to trade off like the convenience. It's going to cost you, but you save yourself some time from having to mix your own wash or whatever. And plus, the way they're formulating these paints now, when I say they, I'm talking specifically about
ASMR point redeem for the painting stream.
For
hold on.
What would we do for the ASMR?
Yeah, hold on.
Here, hold on.
No. Is that good? Water cup? God, I dropped the brush in there. Are you happy now? I had to wash my brush anyways. That was perfect.
Oh, you want some ASMR? That's our paint shaker. That's why we never turn that damn thing on. It's like a giant vibrator for paints. Giant robot. What was that? What was that from? Giant robot. Giant robot.
Do not remember.
Was that Ultraman?
I don't remember.
We gotta watch that again.
We do.
That's a pizza night. That's a beer and pizza night. Beer, pizza, popcorn, whatever. For paints. But it's not ribbed. Ribbed for their pleasure. Oh, I can tell my brush is wet still. Damn it. Paints are starting to streak in some of these larger spots.
I think I've actually heard that joke before. Which is probably, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Alright. It's good seeing you.
Yeah, thanks for
stopping in. Don't be a stranger. Have a good night.
Oh, I like this. Take a look at that when you have a minute.
Okay, let's see. Yep. I can see how you're building it layer by layer. That's really cool.
I'm just glad I don't have like a whole 2,000 point orc army.
Yeah.
Or else I'd have to do like God knows how many. I tell you, if I had to paint a whole orc army, for myself at least, quality would drop way down. Not be putting this much work into each one.
Well,
This much orc
I mean,
into
you
each
do,
one.
like I said, you are your own harshest critic. I think you do a hell of a job painting. You've passed me up. You've surpassed me. So there's that.
Awesome.
I still have a few things to teach you, but you've mastered the use of those GW paints, and like I love the stuff you produce because it looks fantastic. Okay. You done there? No.
Some stuff, when I paint it, I get my doubts about it, but I'm just really happy with how these are turning out, these orcs. This was a recipe I picked up completely out of nowhere. This guy on Facebook posted his picture of his orcs that he was doing using this, and I was like, that looks awesome. What do you use? And I wasn't expecting anything because there were like 250 comments on it, and nearly half of them were like, what paints did you use? But I was like, what paints did he use? Because I want to do that. But he got right back to me.
You have a backlog of minis to paint? That's good. That's the fountain of youth right there.
Yep.
As long as you have unpainted minis, you will live. Once you finish painting all your minis, that's it. Life's over. This is what I keep trying to tell people. They call it their pile of shame. I go, why are you ashamed of that? That's life. The fountain of youth.
This is completely, well, back to the old topic, but
I actually got to use that line when Chris came to see me in the hospital after my heart attack.
I remember
Said, I
that.
can't die yet. I haven't finished painting my minis. He's like, that's right. Okay, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
It's such, this skin tone, it's such an easy thing to do. It's time consuming, but it's easy. It is 3 colors total. That's it. You got, you base coat it in Strachan green, and then you throw a green wash on it, then you highlight it again with Strachan green. You just bring it back up to that first tone, and then you just add a little bit of yellow into there.
Strachan. It's like Dockin green. Hide your chickens. Okay, there's the challenge when you have a light like this ring light. It's like, can I get my head under there to do these little fiddly close-up bits?
I've gotten good at like ducking under the light when I paint, but it's also made me like fuck my neck up every time I paint.
Right. That's exactly what I'm worried about. And this is one of those things where, like, there's no comfortable way to hold this mini. Or, well,
you tell
mini.
me.
And have it on the stream. So it's like I want to paint it, but do I try to be polite to the viewers and say, here, you can see it, and then I can't get the right angle, and I fuck it up, So sometimes it's like, you won't be able to see this for a minute. Yep. So just hang in there.
Yeah, on my end, it's just, hey, you won't be able to see this for a minute, No, that doesn't sound right. Hey, you won't be able to see this for, like, the stream.
This really is just arbitrary. Like, I'm looking at these bricks like, do I do this one? Nah, I'll skip that one. No, I'll do this one instead. But I wish, and there may be something like this out there, I just haven't searched for it. I was going to say, I wish there was a book that had like a history of stonemasons and how they how they work.
Holy shit.
So I could learn more about how cathedrals were built. You know, why are certain stones different than others? Are they really just accent stones, or were they done, you know?
Yeah.
What's the holy shit about?
It took me the better part of an hour to do that first layer of highlights with Strzok and green, bringing it up after the wash. And now with this yellow mixed in, I'm already on the last one. I guess it's just because they're like smaller areas that I've been highlighting.
That's cool.
But that went fast. I gotta get those other orcs primed up within the next like day or so I can come back to this before this paint dries out.
That's a big area. I don't want to do that. Do this.
Here's what I want from my Necrons. I want max amount of units with max amount of models. So you're talking like, what? If you're playing in a battalion detachment, at least like 6 Necron warrior units, like maxed out at, I think, 20, 30 models a unit. Rules-wise, it seems fun to play, especially with like orcs or something like that. Just a massive like horde of models coming at the enemy.
Yeah.
But then you think about like, oh, and now I have to paint all of that.
Right.
And it's like, well, this has been a grave error.
Well, then there's that, and then there's like, oh, I have to move all these models across the table.
Oh, movement trays.
Yeah, no, I know, but still, I'm not a big movement tray fan, but that's a scenario that I could see, like, where I'd be like, yeah, screw that, I'm getting movement trays.
Yep. My original plan with my guard army was to have 6 infantry squads of 10. 60 infantry total. I suppose it's pretty easy enough to do. And use those, spam them with orders, like go, 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 and like all that sort of stuff. Get them up the board and onto objectives.
Okay.
And I painted my first guard squad, and I thought, you know what? I can get a Baneblade, and I won't have to worry about filling up those points anymore. So that's what I did. One big model over the 60 tiny ones. Let me tell you, it was a good choice.
Tell you what, man. It's like, I was waiting for you to break into that. Tell you what.
Tell you what, man, I'm talking about the dang old guard squad's 10-man unit. I'm talking about batch painting, man. Forgot to mention in addition every weapon choice. Now that seems hard to do. Because you get those like one-off models or like character units that have a specific weapon. You'll maxing out your elite slots and all that. Unless you're just talking about like a collection, not a rules viable like playing army. Because if that's the case, I'm well on the way to doing that with my Marines. Except for the Forge World options. I don't fall for scams.
And that Forge World stuff is like
Crazy.
expensive.
Yep. You know, I was looking at some of their Space Marine tanks because Horus Heresy, like not the books or whatever, but the game itself, 30K, that just got a new edition released, or announced at Adepticon, and I was like, you know, that's kind of cool. I have a 30K army. We got one from John,
Yeah.
Ultramarines, you know?
Yep.
And it's like, I could break that out and play that. I might want to get some of the 30k tanks. Looked at the Space Marine tanks for the Horus Heresy, $200 tank.
Jeez.
Like, for a Rhino, you can get a basic 40k Rhino for $60. New in box. And it's like, yeah, no. Goodbye, Horus Heresy. Not doing that. Not in a million years. And by a million years, I mean in 5 years I'll probably have an army.
Let's see. How about if we do a little of this?
Going back on this, I'm gonna add in a couple more highlights. Just brighten that up just a little bit. See if I can't really just push the yellow on this. You know what's just occurred to me?
What's that?
I painted like all this like great blending on the skin before I actually painted any of the other details like teeth or anything like that. So now I gotta like try to work around all of that. Check this one out. Pushed it a bit on there. Tried to like go just a bit more yellow because he's gonna be one of the characters in there. It's the Apothecary.
So I reluctantly got into 40k because, as we were talking about earlier, when Deacon got this box set, half of it was Death Guard, and I said, well, you know, okay, I can play Death Guard because he wanted the Marines, and I like the Death Guard, but I'm reluctant to. Did you do like a Zenithal kind of a thing?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I did black, then whiting from the top, that De La Rowney, and then from there I did like a light coat of Strachan green just to cover it up.
Yeah.
Then shade and highlighted it up.
That's cool. But I like my Death Guard, but I don't know that I'm going to be investing in them a lot. Okay, I think I'm done.
I mean,
with
I don't
these
see
classes.
why you have to. Oh, that's not showing up at all.
No, I got a fairly decent.
Yeah,
I mean, I did invest a little more than what was initially there.
Yeah.
So there's that.
No, but I mean, like, going further, I don't see why you'd necessarily need to do that. Like,
right.
You've got 2,000 point. You've got a 2,000 point army, as well as enough extra stuff to make up like another couple hundred points if you ever want to like switch stuff out or like change things up, you know?
Right.
So at that point, I mean, if you're not really looking to grow a full collection, you know, why bother?
Right.
If you're happy with what you have, you're happy with what you have.
Yeah, and it runs pretty decently.
Yeah. How did I tell you about the Crusade campaign that we're planning on for stream here? Did I tell you that I've once again changed who I'm going to be playing?
Oh god, no, really?
Yep.
This Crusade's never going to happen.
Nope. Never.
So initially, Nero, okay, we were going to do Iron Fists versus Black Templar.
No, Imperial Fists.
Oh yeah, not Iron Fists. Imperial Fist versus Black Templars. And Deacon wrote up a whole bunch of really cool scenarios for Crusade play, then decided, nah, I don't want to do that. And they switched gears to, what was it?
Sisters of Battle.
Sisters of Battle versus Death Guard.
Yes.
And then now it sounds like
Imperial Guard
you're changing Imperial Guard
versus Death Guard.
versus Death Guard. Guard on guard action. Hot 40k guard on guard action.
Just stand up.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
You're quite welcome. You know, drop in sometime and say hi.
We'll be live tomorrow, playing something.
Yeah, I think tomorrow we're doing video games. Next Friday, we will be doing Dante's game. It's a homebrew fantasy RPG that I run. We'll be doing that via Roll20 because we're not back to in-person tabletop games yet. And then next Saturday, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll do Workbench stuff again on Saturday instead of Friday.
Yeah.
So, it just depends on what we're motivated to do. But we appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate the follow.
Yeah. It is really awesome. If you have...
Check out the Discord server.
Okay.
Check out the Instagram. You know, we got to get that updated. But let me drop some links in here. Here's some social drops. And we also have... We put the videos up on YouTube.
Yes. Yes, we do.
But I'm about 4 behind right now, so I got to catch up on doing that. Have a good night. Get some rest, and hope to see you online soon.
Yeah. And following along their train of doing things, we might want to think about ending it here soon too, or at least I do. It's 10:30.
Okay, let me...
Just passed.
Oh man, I'm just hitting the groove.
I hit the groove and I fell out of the groove and now I have a headache. So, I gotta like run up, grab some Tylenol.
Yeah, hang on, I will... It's like when we try to get you to come to dinner. Hang on. When you're playing your games.
Yeah.
I can't save yet.
It's multiplayer, I can't pause it.
Let's do that one. Okay, we'll clean this brush up and I guess we'll call it a night. It's early, huh?
Is it?
Well, I mean, as far as streamers go, on a Friday night.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, well, let's see. We are Black Dragon Tavern. I'm Dante.
And I'm Deacon.
And we're going to call it a night here. We
Yeah.
appreciate hanging out. We appreciate you hanging out there. If you were lurking, just drop in sometime and say hi. We do this again, like I said, every Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central. And then every other Friday, 8 p.m. to midnight, where we play
Yes,
Dante's
yes.
game.
Which will be next Friday.
Next Friday, that's right. Episode 7. Session 7.
Yeah.
Session 7, episode 23, I think.
4.
Of 23 or 4,
23
yeah.
tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then tomorrow we will be playing something online.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not
Sea of
sure
Thieves
what.
or something. We'll figure it out. That's about the only one I know we can run decently.
Stardew?
Well, we could do Stardew Valley.
Yeah,
Sure,
we could
I'd try that
give
again.
that another shot.
I think you might have to... Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Alright, your homework is to go and watch videos on like how to play Stardew because I don't feel like teaching you.
Okay, gee, thanks. All right.
There's a lot of intricacies to it, and I don't feel like explaining it. But that's for tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
and
be sure to tune in then. And
did you change the color of your light, the temperature of the light?
I turned it down.
You turned it down.
I dimmed
okay,
it down
was
because I
like,
got a headache.
Dim. All right. Well, that's us. Speaking of turning down, we're going to turn down for the
Yeah.
evening. But thanks again for hanging out. Check out the socials page. Check out our About page on Twitch. Hit the follow button if you enjoyed the stream. And we'll see you tomorrow night,
See
8
you then.
p.m. Central. Have a good night.